Hi, this is Mrs. Dahman. We've looked at first-person point of view and third-person objective point of view, and today we're going to focus on the third-person limited point of view, because especially when we're talking about the third person, sometimes it's a little more challenging to determine. Is it objective? Is it omniscient? Is it a limited point of view? So we're going to read this article and determine what makes it a limited third-person point of view. You're welcome to read independently or read along with me and then go back and then read it independently yourself. You're always welcome to highlight and or underline key pieces that identify what type of a story perspective is being shared. Third person limited. Jimmy's family lived near a minor league baseball stadium. The games were pretty cheap, so they were able to go to lots of games. Jimmy had probably been to about 50 games at this point, so he could not believe that he hadn't caught a foul or a home run ball. He thought that the odds were pretty good that he'd at least have come close at this point, but the closest he'd been was landing one about 10 rows away. There was one other time, however, when his family had showed up late to their seats. The guy sitting behind them had told Jimmy that a ball had landed right in Jimmy's seat about 10 minutes before they had arrived. Maybe that was my chance and I blew it, Jimmy thought. Still, he didn't give up. He figured that he'd need to get clever. He brought a small notebook to the park and he started taking notes on the different players. He noted where they usually hit balls into the stands and how often. He also made notes on how this was affected by whether the pitcher was a righty or a lefty. After about half a dozen games, he was excited to see that he had a pretty clear idea of where every player on the home team might hit the ball. Jimmy asked his dad for permission to wander around the park. His dad agreed. So Jimmy took his glove and his notebook and was off. The park was usually only half full, so the ushers would let people pretty much sit wherever they wanted. When the announcer boomed, "Now batting third base, Jenkins," Jimmy flipped open his notebook until he found his notes about the player. The pitcher was a righty, which meant that a foul ball was likely going into section 105 behind the first base dugout. As Jenkins walked to the plate, Jimmy sprinted to section 105. He arrived just in time to find a foul ball whistling toward him. It settled into his glove with a delightful pop. Jimmy was thrilled, and by the end of the inning, he had caught 2 more baseballs. By the end of the summer, he was a local celebrity, and the fans would erupt every time he caught another ball.